This right here is the Red Sea Reef ATO, or auto top off machine. This thing right here comes at a monster price, but after using it for a few weeks, I'm here to tell you my opinions and how effective I think it all is. Without getting any further into the video, let's go ahead and take a look at the box and open it up using my handy dandy little baby knife. I will be opening up this box, and the first thing you are greeted with is, of course, the user manual. Right underneath the user manual, you're gonna have your separate different parts. Now, there is your controller, your massive controller, and then on the left you have your water sensor for leaks, and on the right you have your actual sensor for top offs. Now, I was kind of skeptical with the sensor at first because I know from many online reviews that they do go bad, so I wanted to be as careful as I possibly could, especially because I'm not using this on a sump like you're supposed to. Digging deeper and further into the box, you'll see that there are the corner mounts, the corner brackets. All this is a very nice magnet set that connects to the corner of your aquarium. It keeps the water level, or your sensor, completely level to the water level, so that way you don't have to worry about it tipping, falling over, being uneven, being sideways, anything that could possibly make it think that you have a lot more water in the tank, or that you need a lot more water in the tank. Of course, you have the mounts for all of your controllers and all of your wiring and tubing. It gives you a real decent amount of tubing, so as far as space and, wire length, you're not really gonna have to worry about running out of length or tubing length or any kind of that jazz. It also comes with this nice little clip. This clip slides right into the mount, so that way your sensor can slide right into the top. Now, this is really what's going to make your clip and your sensor absolutely perfect. You can see I have it all put together right here, and in a perfect world, this is how it fits. As you can see, you have your temperature prong, your min and max water level, and your overflow level. And it has these nice little notches that the holder grabs onto. I'm not going to be using them. I'm going to be kind of jerry-rigging it like you see right here. Now, I did do that a little rough, and that was the first time. I did absolutely get scared that I broke it. But so far, so good with the sensor. Getting into the pump and the tubing, it has these awesome locking nuts here, so that way you put the pump onto the tube. You put that locking nut on, you screw it, and it locks the tube on. It has all of these different ports on your controller. Now, it may seem a bit confusing, but each port has a certain amount of prongs, and each item has the same amount. So 4 prongs, that's the sensor. That's going to be going into the sensor one. It won't fit anywhere else. So just make sure they have good connection, and you're not mixing anything up in that way. This is everything you get out of the box. You can see you have the sensor in the bracket. You have all of your tubing, all of your cording, your pump, all of that fancy jazz that needs to go into this gorgeous fish tank over here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get all this in. And I will say that I did this a while back, and I need to give some tips about the app. This is the app. Now, the app is absolutely amazing. It is super cool, right? You can check your notifications. It'll tell you when your reservoir is running low or empty, or if your temperature is way too high, way too low. Tell you all of your devices. And then getting a little deeper into the map, or into the app, there's active feed mode, emergency mode, and there is maintenance mode. These will all be kind of useful when you're working on your tank, stuff like that. You can see the water level. It'll tell you your constant water level. You can manually fill it. And it has a reservoir volume, so you know how much your reservoir is. And it even comes with an amazing top-off log. Now, this log tells you how much water you use daily. And in my 29-gallon tank, a 5-gallon jug of RO lasts about 6 or 7 days, which is absolutely great. That's just where I need to be. It also has a temperature log with minimum and max temperatures that it wants you to run off of. It tells you if you are almost running in the red or if you're doing good for the whole entire day, which is great. This is good to know, especially in those winter months. You have the heater on and the AC on. I will say with this app that it does give you trouble with your Wi-Fi. So you will be needing to connect this to a 2.4 gigahertz band network. If you're trying to connect it to a 5 gigahertz band network, it just plainly won't work, and it gave me a fucking headache. But once you get it working, and if you're able to separate those bands of Wi-Fi through your router or through your whatever system you have, then it works great. Getting off of the app and back into the tank, You can see these corner brackets are holding this sensor up perfectly. I did kind of have to jerry rig it, lift it up past the mount so that way I can actually have it near the top of the tank. This is meant for a sump, and that was absolutely prevalent with this fill up here. You can see it's just a little piece of plastic connected to a tube. That piece of plastic is supposed to clip onto the edge of your tank. So ideally you have a rimless tank, you clip that onto the edge of your tank, and it spits water against the glass, so that way it's silent. Now, if you're using this the way that I'm using this, if that thing is fully underwater, it will create a siphon every single time it stops. And the water check valve that's supposed to meant to stop the siphon was not stopping the siphon for me. So just keep that in mind when you're using it for these kinds of purposes. Just keep that thing above the water level. Do not let it go below. As far as the overall setup, I think it's a pretty nice setup. I've rigged it up to where it looks good. The top off goes in a high flow spot of the tank, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I'm not going to have to worry about it falling in or falling out of the tank, so spilling RO water all over the floor, thinking that my reservoir is empty. But a good thing to know about the Red Sea ATO is that it'll only pump off a gallon of water every single time before it stops, and it'll notify you saying, hey, it pumped off a lot of water. But it is working. It has been about 2 months now, a little under 2 months, and I haven't really had too many issues with it. The salt crib kind of freaks me out with the sensors going bad and stuff, and for a little bit there I was worried about the tube falling out of the tank and spraying water all over my electrical parts. But so far, so good. None of that has happened, and I've taken some pretty good measures to make sure of that. As far as a general review and an overall opinion, this is an amazing product. Sure, it is pricey, but it comes with the security of all the things you don't really want to worry about. With many auto top-offs, or especially with the DIY auto top-offs, you have to worry about flooding your place or turning your tank into a freshwater tank. I mean, there are just so many different things that could go wrong with an auto top-off. And by having a real nice one that'll only cut off after an hour, it really will save your absolute ass. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully it was kind of informative and you picked up everything you wanted to. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you.